This is Sky with Politics NY. Schneps Media is asking each candidate running for New York City office this year 3 questions in 3 minutes. And I'm with Lucy Lang right now. She's running to be our next Manhattan District Attorney. So, Lucy, we have 3 minutes to get to know you. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you're running for the seat.
Thank you so much, Sky, for having me and for doing this great service for New Yorkers. As a national criminal justice reform leader and a former assistant district attorney, I know that the role of the district attorney encompasses far more than prosecution alone. The next DA must take a 360-degree view of the system and everyone it touches. That means prioritizing prevention and healing, focusing on rehabilitation, and working deeply with all of our communities. And it's why I created a first of its kind college and prison program that brings assistant district attorneys inside New York's prisons to work on criminal justice reform issues together alongside incarcerated New Yorkers. It's the breadth and depth of all of that experience that's motivating me to run for Manhattan District Attorney.
So, there are a lot of candidates in this race for Manhattan District Attorney. What makes you the best candidate, Lucy?
I am the candidate in the race who has time and time again responded to scenes of terrible violence in New York City's streets, in New York's hospitals, and who has worked alongside crime victims and incarcerated New Yorkers on some of the most pressing issues facing our city. I think of a case I handled many years ago in which two masked gunmen stepped out from behind a parked car on Upper Broadway and opened fire, shooting 5 people and killing one. The incredible generosity of spirit that the mother of that young man who was killed manifested itself the day after the conviction of the 2 men who had killed her son. When I asked her how she felt, and she said, "I slept all night for the first time since my son was killed. But when I woke up, all I could think about were the moms of those 2 boys," referring to the 2 men who had just been convicted of murdering her son. That perspective and that depth of work distinguishes me from everyone else in the field. And I'd be honored to have the vote of all of your listeners and watchers.
Okay, that was very serious and a good story. Now tell us something more fun, like about the beautiful bookshelf behind you or anything else you want to share.
Something fun about me. Oh, I love to cook and am a serious home cook, but I'm particularly committed, especially during the pandemic and especially during a political campaign, to use of my Instant Pot. And I highly recommend it to anyone who doesn't have one yet.
Is it like a crock pot?
It's like a crock pot, but better. It's a pressure cooker too.
Awesome. Well, you heard it from Lucy Lang, candidate for Manhattan DA. And this was Schneps Media's 3 questions in 3 minutes. And I'm Sky with Politics NY.